All right, folks, this is a friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you from Robertson County, North Carolina, where it is hot, humid, and balmy. But that's North Carolina's summertime on the east side of the state. Got ourselves a potential tropical storm blowing that might hit landfall this way. All kinds of interesting going on. But nature of the video, I know I'd started the series on the 45 points of the Communist Manifesto to take over America. We will get back on that tomorrow. I was absent yesterday because I wasn't feeling too well, and we had the grandson all weekend, which that part thoroughly enjoyed, but it does wear you out. Anyway, anyway, that's for you, Brother Kyle. What do I want to talk about? Well, let's see. One, genders. Sick and tired of hearing about these multiple fruitcake, misgendered people that need professional help. There, I said it. And if you happen to be somebody that thinks they're of that persuasion watching this here video, stop watching right now. Go and seek professional help. Oh, soldier, you can't say that. If people feel a certain way, that's just how they feel, and we have to entertain that notion. No, we don't. God made Adam and God made Eve. He made one man and one woman. And if you want me to really break it down to you, He made one with a pipe and one with a coupling. Okay? So if your plumbing is a pipe, you're a man. If your plumbing is a coupling, you're a woman. And I'm not going to get any more graphic than that because there might be youngins that inadvertently watch this. And who knows, me saying it anyway, YouTube might take this down anyway. I don't really give a rat's rear end. I'm freaking tired of their communist bull crap anyway. Along with Facebook, Fauci book, Nazi book, Stinkogram, whatever you want to call it. All these social media platforms that they want you to buy into, use, and speak freely until you disagree with them. That's why I'm bringing this up, because I'm starting to see a trend of these, I don't want to name call, but these people with developmental issues. Let's put it that way. What do you mean by developmental issues? Somewhere along their childhood, their pathway, an adult, a male or female adult, entertain their idea of, well, Johnny, if you feel like Susie, then we'll just start calling you Susie. Will that make you happy? Yes, it will. Instead of, Johnny, why do you think you feel like Susie? What on God's green earth makes you feel that way? Because Daddy don't give me enough attention. Well, we can rectify that. Or because Grandma wouldn't let me get a bicycle, whatever the reason is. And then this, I saw one. She had pink and purple hair and 20 million different piercings in her face. If you want to dye your hair whatever color you want to wear piercing, I ain't got a problem with it. But then started talking about being how did she phrase it? It was a she. Divergent, neo-queer person. I don't even begin to know where to start with that. But what I'm tired of hearing about is, my pronoun is they, them, ours. Well, you're full of crap. Demi Lovato. Yeah, I'm calling her out because, it seems like as the wind, whichever way the wind blows, she follows that course, that action. In reality, she needs to go back and get some more professional psychiatric help for all her issues. And these celebrities that continue to entertain this and push it. Sick of y'all. And yes, what I'm talking about falls into one of the points of the Communist Manifesto. And we'll get to that when I get to that point later in this series as we continue down studying that. But I wanted to address that today because I keep seeing it in the news and social media posts, whole 9 yards. Okay? Especially the one a few weeks back where now bear with me, because this one, I still have a hard time wrapping my head around this one. The mother biologically is a man. Bear with me. The mother is biologically a man. The father, biologically a woman, and actually gave birth. Say it again. The father, biologically, is a woman who delivered the child. And the video shows them in bed together. By the way, both of them need to go on a diet because they're both morbidly obese. Of them holding the baby up to the mother to breastfeed. And, he's latching, but we're hopeful eventually that I'll be able to breastfeed, but because he is latching, but we're going to put him on formula to make sure he gets all the nutrients and vitamins he needs. Oh. Somebody needs to take them two and slap them upside the head. Because it's a biological, as my son over here said, impossibility. And I've talked about this before. If Steve wants to be Eve and goes and gets his plumbing changed surgically, that's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, when they pull his blood and you look at his DNA, Steve is still going to be Steve and Eve is still going to be Eve. Okay? And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm sick of being told to walk on eggshells around people because their Fruity Tooty flavor of the day is not my version of what a Fruity Tooty flavor ought to be. Which, by the way, Fruity Tooty sherbet ice cream is one of my favorites. Alright? But this whole, I'm a trans boy, I'm a trans girl, I'm a trans man, in London, England, dude, I am trans Korean. In my heart, I'm Korean. So he goes to the surgeon and gets his eyes done up to make himself look more Asian. Well, dude, if you feel that's so in touch with Korea, immigrate your butt over to South Korea and become a South Korean citizen. Oh, but wait, that ethnically doesn't make you Korean. Oh, I'm sorry, that I didn't know. You know, because last time I checked, Korean is not an ethnicity, it's a nationality. Asian is an ethnicity. So if you want to be more like Koreans, go move your butt there and learn the language. Learn to live over there. Okay? Just saying. But no, instead of that, whoa, look at me. I'm getting surgery to look more Korean because I'm Korean. People need to stop entertaining this horse mess. And people need to start growing up. Okay? Now, at the end of the day, when people are grown, they're going to make their own decision, do for them as they want. The problem is, some of you parents out there, you're catering to your kids on these whims because you're afraid to tell them no, or you're afraid to tell them, hey, you're wrong. As he said, some people don't know how to parent. The bottom line is this. Quit watching all these trendy bullcrap channels, you know, that say, oh, look, I think my baby's going to be a girl, even though the baby was born a man or a boy. All right? The other one, and it's probably going to hurt some feelings out there. You know, the one lady says, my baby's gay. How in the hell do you know what your baby is other than just being a baby? Because as a baby, there ain't but a few things on their mind. Eating, sleeping, pooping, and peeing. And occasionally throwing up on their uncles. Okay? Baby can't even talk that no squat diddly about sexual orientation. That woman needs to have her child taken from her. She needs to be getting some professional help before she damages that child when the child doesn't come of age. Now I'm going to move on to my second point. I got a few today. I've been stewing for a while. Pedophilia. The movement out there to make pedophilia legal. my thought process, New York City or California is going to be one of the first two places to allow it to happen. Now, again, when a child becomes an adult legally, they go do what they want to do, whether I think it's right or wrong. But at that point in time, they're of the age that they make their own decisions, they take responsibility for their own actions, their own decisions. But until that point in time, no. Now, I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe what the Bible says. And I'll leave that there. If you don't agree with that, that's on you. I'm not here to change minds. I'm not here to preach from the pulpit. That's not my calling in life. If you ask me about it, I'll tell you what I think. If you believe in the Bible, you'll understand where I come from. At the end of the day, am I going to hate somebody that's homosexual? No. Can I be friends with somebody that is? Of course. How can you do that, old soldier, if you're Christian? Because my Lord and Savior told me not to hate, but to love. Even to love the sinner. But to despise the sin. At the end of the day, if a person who continues to go to that road, so be it. Because that also applies to adultery, thievery, murder, rape, pillage, incest, whole 9 yards. Enough of that. The fact, though, that we've got a movement here in the United States trying to allow pedophilia to become legal. Now, you might be a conspiracy theorist, you might not, but one has to ask the question, why did Tom Hanks and his wife change their citizenship to another nation? Why did, what's that gal's name married to that singer? John Legend's wife. Yeah, Chrissy Pigpen. When this whole thing about the sex island pedophilia stuff started to come out, how she deleted over 60,000 tweets of hers and concerned about what her family was doing. And there's a multitude of celebrities involved in this, and politicians. And I can promise you, if I ever catch one of them in the act, people won't have to worry about them anymore. Take that for what you want. But all this horse mess, folks, has got to stop. Second thing, and I'm going to close on this one. Whether you like the police or you don't like the police, defunding police departments across the nation is morally and ethically wrong. And the denial of several cities' mayors that their police forces are brutal, corrupt. Well, you're the mayor. If your police force is corrupt, you clean house. But you don't defund them. You don't get rid of them. You don't limit or restrict their power. You get rid of the bad apples. Case in example, Serpico, New York City. Some people still say he was a whiner and a crybaby, but he changed how policing was done in New York City for at least for a time. I'm not saying New York City police is the greatest thing in the world, but they've come a long way from where they were. And I'm not saying all cops are good. I've had my fair share of bad cops that I've had to deal with and see and what have you. But the majority have always gone the extra mile to help me in situations. Okay? Yeah, I don't like it when a cop's a smart aleck and thinks that he knows the law, when in reality they don't. But a lot of times cops are told to question people, say for a traffic stop, because it's their department policy for them to do that, not their personal preference. Okay? part of their training. Now, yeah, I agree with the statement that police are not really well equipped to deal with some of the people that they encounter when they're called. Yet the police are always the first ones called in these situations. Then, when they take the action they've been trained to use, they become subject to the criticisms of the people around them that called them. In talking with several law enforcement officers in the past, the most dangerous calls they always get are domestic violence calls. Because when they show up, all of a sudden, John and Jill have kissed and made up, and then right as the cops get ready to leave, they start arguing again. So the cops take John off, and Jill turns on the cops and start wailing on them. Or they get to court and lie in court, right? There is a fundamental flaw in the mental health care system in the United States. And the judicial system in the United States is allowing for mentally deficient perpetrators to stay on the street. Let me say it again. Allowing for mentally deficient perpetrators to stay on the streets. They need to increase funding to the police to have them, give them better training to deal with people with psychological and psychotic issues. Better de-escalation techniques. Hire more officers so that it's not 1, 2, or 3 officers that per se would respond to a call where they got 40 or 50 people when they show up, or they're dealing with someone that is strung out on meth or cocaine, and their only alternative is, either die or use lethal force. The other thing, building community relationships where the community will actually tell the police where this person lives or what exactly happened, and help the police find these perpetrators that are creating all the problems. Old soldier, what do you mean by that? Police show up to the neighborhood, they get a guy, and then next thing you know, the neighborhood comes out against him. The guy gets away, and then the people are like, y'all need to do something about this. Well, where does he live? I can't tell you that. Why not? You know how it is down here in the neighborhood. You know how it is down here on this block. You tell on somebody, they come after you. Or I'm not a rat. Your job's to go find them. Y'all need to do your job, officer. And yeah, I know policing's not an easy job. If it was easy, if it was easy, everybody'd want to do it. I get that. But they also need to increase funding to the state mental health facilities to give them the personnel, the facilities, and the means to help when they do have to apprehend somebody that's actually having psychological or psychotic issues. So instead of taking them to jail, they can take them there and get them the help they need. I don't have all the answers, folks. Don't have all the solutions. But those are 3 things on my chest today I need to get off and weigh out. And I'm going to give you a bonus. One gun had a conversation with another the other day. The AR-15 Bushmaster Super Duper Machine Gun M203 grenade launcher said to the 44 Magnum, "Hey, let's go kill some people today." And the 44 Magnum responded, "Hey, we can't do that. We're inanimate objects. We need a human being to make that happen." Moral of the story, guns don't kill people. People kill people. A gun's just an instrument, a tool, just like a car, a knife, a frying pan, etc. God bless, take care, anywho, anyhow, anyway. That's for you, Brother Kyle, one more time. Keep your eyes open, your ear to the ground, your neck on a swivel, stay armed, stay safe, stay vigilant. This is your friendly neighborhood old soldier. Until tomorrow, God bless, take care, out.